Hey guys, Wes from Wesley Paranormal here, along with CJP from Red Cell Paranormal. This is Beyond the Beyond. We are back finally. How's it going, John?
Doing well today, doing well. Flying around, being tip knock goo just like a doctor.
Right on, right on. So yeah, we have been gone a while. Just lots of stuff happening with me. We had some guests here, which kind of prevented us from doing the show, and John had some stuff going on too, so it kind of worked both in our favors that I wasn't able to do it. But John, what's been going on with you lately? Let people know. I know what's going on. Yeah, let people know what's been going on with you.
Honestly, for a while, I've been sick. I'm very sick for the last little while. And I just wasn't physically able to do a lot of things and mentally as well. And so it's really been kind of an uphill journey and a battle to get where I am back today. I felt pretty low, pretty far. Not that I did anything terrible or relapsed on any kind of drug or alcohol or anything like that. There's no story there. But, it's just I just went through a long process that, really woke me up to the realities of things. And I'm not getting any younger, but I'm a man that should be in the prime of his life that unfortunately because of things that they have not researched yet and they haven't figured it out. So there is nothing really to help me. And
Hmm.
so basically when you're really hoping for something and the doctors are still telling you there's nothing yet, that this is probably going to be researched, but it's going to take at least 10 years because Canada's laws are very different than America's. You have lobbyists who can get things pushed through. Canada, their drug trials usually in their research is like a 10-year type of thing before they'll R whatever FDA will approve a medication for human beings. It's very different. So, really the only things for me is basically prescription band-aids.
Hmm.
And when the prescription band-aids don't work as well or things like that, and you have to make adjustments in your life and you need to accept things, that was a very arduous thing for me to do, to swallow my pride and to
Yeah.
actually do those things. And and then after that, it just seemed like it was just a slew of bad luck.
Yeah.
And that's kind of me that you can I don't gamble, and I think there's a reason. I'm hoping karmically things come back, which they're starting to, so that's good. But I got incredibly depressed, and we all know the importance of mental health. And so I
Hmm.
had to come back from that, and that took me a while to get out of that funk and to gain inspiration again, and
Yeah.
just stop feeling like I'm letting everybody down in my life, and stop feeling like all that kind of stuff, and that I need to do what I need to do. And so really it was, reconnecting back with myself and reaffirming things that I know to be, and accepting certain things. And and then also having a partner in this for 4 years already.
Hmm.
Her getting talking with, and it's because in a relationship you got two people. I can't be selfish all the time. So and all she's ever done has been a great support for me. She's going
Yeah.
through her own hell right now too, regarding just stuff. I'm not going to bring it up. It's kind of our personal stuff. So,
Yeah.
but it's not relationship issues or anything like that. We're
Hmm.
very happy in our relationship, and I love Hope more than anybody in the world. And
Yeah.
yeah, and she loves me. And the thing is, though, is just there's a lot of things around this time of year too that people get depressed about and things like that. So, as I have kind of come out of my bout of depression, she's trying to fight the one that she's going to go down as well. But so, and you were instrumental in kind of bringing me back out of that depression. I mean, just the constant contact you and I had, even though the show was on hiatus, just the
Hmm.
fact that we talked pretty much every day, you know,
Hmm.
unless one of us is really sick and, doesn't message for a couple of days or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's always understood. There's no problem here. It's
Hmm.
just like, hope you get better, and you did a lot of that. and
Hmm.
and I just like I got to thank you first for staying with me, for because it had to be incredibly annoying to be on hiatus, and like knowing that I may be sick or whatever, and that I should pull shit together and do the damn podcast. And you probably wanted to reach through Hangouts and bitch slap me a couple times, and that's okay, man. That's okay. That's okay. But if I'm lying, I'm dying, and I love you. So honestly, I just have to thank you for staying with me and just having that contact. That's why you're my brother. You know what I mean?
Hey,
That's
always, bro, always.
yeah,
No matter what's going on, I've lived through it myself, and I know exactly how depression feels and how you just, even though you shouldn't, you isolate yourself away from absolutely everything and
yeah,
get down this downward spiral, and you're like gone from the world for days. I understand how that works, and it's
yeah.
right. And if I was able to help with that, then I'm glad. And
No,
yeah,
that's honestly like just just hey man, how's it going? Keeping me talking. You know what I
mm-hmm.
mean? Keeping me engaged. That's really something that helped. Really increase. Bring me out of that and give me those happy moments to look forward to. Like this is one of the reasons why I'm choosing to be positive today.
Yeah,
Like and then it became you know I got to wake up this morning and somebody else didn't. Okay,
yeah.
let's go with that.
Yeah, and shout
And
out to Dave here, who's in the chat. He just said depression is an ongoing fight. Just got out of mine a week ago, affecting me for 3 weeks, and it can totally do that. It can keep you on your ass for just the longest
absolutely.
periods of times. And thanks, Dave, for joining the stream. Much appreciated.
Thanks a lot, Dave. And you know what? You're completely true. And honestly, ever since I watched the Joe Rogan Roseanne Barr podcast, the way that Rogan summed up mental issue, like, any type of depression, any kind of mental handicap or any kind of issue like that, a psychological issue. He goes, if you walk around, you have a broken arm. People aren't going to ask you to help them move. If you
Mm-hmm.
do something, people are going to get out of your way. If somebody bumps into you and you go, I'm sorry, I have cancer, they're going to go, oh my God. But because when you have a broken brain, you can't put a band-aid on that,
No,
a visible one. You know
no,
what I
it's
mean?
completely
so
invisible.
so when you have an episode, people just think, well, he's crazy, you know
Yeah, it gets back to the old pull up your
and
sock idiom.
And a lot of people like to think that the mainstream culture is more accepting of mental issues and mental health, but I think it's quite the opposite. And you see a
Mm-hmm.
lot of that when you have these mass shooters, and right away they start blaming guns and psychotropic drugs. Right away.
Yeah.
And the thing is that that's why there's a lot of people that are still out there that can't get the help that they need because there's doctors that there's a guy and his videos are kind of suck, but he talks about the downside of therapy of him because he quit being a therapist. And one of the things that really intrigued me was the fact that the way that we are when we diagnose a problem in the ITC world. So when you watch the Dead Files or Ghost Adventures or any type of show where people are talking about their paranormal story, as I'm watching that show, I just find myself doing this, going, okay, knocks in threes, this. That usually means a demonic presence in the home, praying, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And you
Yep.
kind of like in your head, you're going, okay, this is what I know. So you're diagnosing this, okay? That's the same thing that therapists do and
Mm-hmm.
psychologists is they go, okay, you're feeling this way, this way, this way. Okay, chances are you're experiencing, you're schizophrenic. So I'm going to put you in this category and give you this category of medicine. Oh, you're feeling down all the time, this and that. You know what I mean? I'm going to put you over here and I'm going to diagnose you with this condition and give you this type of medicine. And so it's really sad to see that's where psychology is at still today and
Mm-hmm.
therapists. And this is why, they don't get enough money per patient when they're being charged for people who have the amount of time they can spend with a patient when they're battling with insurance companies. And insurance people are saying, you should only see this person 1 day a week.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, I need to see this person 5 days a week right now because if I don't, they're liable to go off and do something crazy. They might harm themselves or somebody else, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so it's sad to see that's where the state is. But you know, people try to put on a mask, as I was saying, in the mainstream media and that, keep this whole mental health thing going. And in my opinion, it's a mask. It's just something that they can go, well, here's something that's not as depressing as a mass shooting we can talk about,
Yeah, yeah.
in today's world, and so with mental illness and mental health, it's still stigmatized secretly. It's still taboo, we're not sending people off to go and live in reformatories and go over there and all that kind of stuff. We're not doing that anymore. That's a failed method. Now people investigate those old places and find horribly depressing all that stuff. It's terrible. And so it's still stigmatized. And whether or not you've been diagnosed as a child or whether or not something just happened that caused you to become so depressed, as John was saying there, that you know what I mean, you can't get out of bed. And
Hmm.
that's where I was at for a while.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't drag myself out of bed. And a lot of
Mm.
people think, well, how come you can't get out of bed? Why not? I know you're depressed, but you can't even get out of your bed. You can't even go have a shower. No,
Well,
because
that's where people get into the thinking of that depression is just being sad, and it's a lot more than just
exactly,
being
yeah.
sad.
Or you're attention seeking, or you're doing this or that or the other thing. And a lot of times, attention seeking behavior just means you're secretly crying out for help, or you're subconsciously crying out for help. And then
Yeah.
when people still smack you on the hand and say, stop doing that and get your act together, you're like, well, you don't understand what I'm going through right now. So it's really hard for me to do that. And
Hmm.
that's still stigmatized, I see it where I'm at all the time. So I'm pretty sure it's all over the place still. In this hashtag Me Too movement and all that kind of world, it's still state mental health is still stigmatized. Every time that like this guy that just did the mass shooting recently, I mean, guaranteed the first thing they brought up was what kind of meds he was on and how his
Hmm.
family treated him, probably to
Oh yeah,
paint
it's
this
always got to be the
picture.
leading story
Yeah,
with those
yeah,
types of things.
and it's always a kind of the same deal. You know what I mean? These poor guys, it's always the same deal. They go, they I don't know why, but they feel like they got to shoot a bunch of people. Like that's really, and then they kill themselves or they surrender. And like, how is that going to make you feel any better? You're just going to feel worse about yourself in your jail cell when without a television or
I
without.
really like what Dave wrote here. Even for us, it's sometimes hard to explain what we're feeling. Rather, it's a lack of feeling. I like that. That makes a lot of
Yeah,
sense.
I really like that one too, man. Thanks for writing that in the chat for us, man, and sharing
Yeah,
that with us. It
yeah.
really is because I'm
But
sorry.
segueing into like kind of a brighter spot, you told me like over the past few freaking past couple months, I think that you've been seeing repeating numbers. That's something
Yeah,
that Darlene's being seen too.
yep.
So just tell me like what number you're seeing. You've looked them up too, what and maybe go through the names of them and stuff like that.
I see 11 11 10 10 12 12 111 222 333 444 and 555 very often throughout the day. I will see usually of at least three times like one of those numbers, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I'll see
Mm-hmm.
some in the morning, I'll see some in the afternoon, I'll see some towards the evening, and then I'll see something at night, 10 10 11 11 kind of thing if I'm up.
Right. Yeah,
And
Darlene's seeing an 11 11 a lot and a 9 11 a lot too.
what do you go? 11 11? I think means positive change. I do. I think one of them. Because I looked them all up and I don't have them
Mm-hmm.
all written down. But I
Uh-huh.
just my mother's also going through some things in her life, and she's
Mm-hmm.
been seeing these numbers as well. And a lot of them though are is that it's a lot of them state that it's your guardian angel tapping you on the shoulder, going, "Excuse me, over here for a minute." You know what I mean? And you get that little thing in the back of your head. And so
Mm-hmm.
and then eventually, and I looked it up, and it's basically all positivity. Then
Mm-hmm.
these numbers,
Oh, that's cool.
it's not like a tarot card or a tarot card, whatever you want to call
Right.
them. There where there's like a dual, an upside, and whatever.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. If it's
It's not.
upside down or something, yeah. But
Yeah, it's not like that at all. It's just simply like, these things and it gets into the meanings, you know what I mean? And so you just go on Google and type in three, the time, and then what it
mm-hmm.
means. And you'll get a
Yeah.
big paragraph right there from Wikipedia or something like that. And it basically all means like, your angels are trying to get into contact with you. positive change is coming, positive things on the horizon are coming, just to kind
Hmm.
of bring you out of your funk if you are depressed and things like that too. And so I've noticed that that's really been happening in my life too, and I've been in implementing things in my life to make sure that I'm living more positive, and I'm trying to keep a positive mindset and positive
Hmm.
people around me. And
Yeah.
so that's another good thing is surrounding yourself with that positivity. So,
Yeah. So you're saying that you're seeing like all these numbers, and you look them up, and they've all been positive things. And I think one you said earlier today had to do with growth or something like that.
yep, spiritual growth.
Yeah, spiritual growth, and yeah, but just it's interesting how these numbers work and everything. It'd be interesting to take a look at them from a numerology perspective and see like if you were to use them in numerology, what the different meanings would be, or if they're just like have to do with repeating numbers themselves. It'd be interesting to kind of take a look into that, I think.
That is interesting to think about, like the numerological significances of the
Hmm.
numbers. Um, I haven't actually researched that, but I'm gonna actually write that down.
Yeah. Yeah, I used to like study numerology like when I was in my early 20s and stuff,
Yeah,
and yeah, just that there's just so many different meanings that different numbers can have and stuff. And in the book I was reading, it was saying that you can actually change your life by changing your name because the letters will have different numerical significances, and it's
very
amazing
true.
because I went from changing my name from Lewis to West, but to go on by Wesley, so which I now consider my first name, and like my entire character is almost changed compared to like the little shy, quiet person I was before. And I definitely believe that there's power in numbers and the way that you can use them to improve your life.
Very much so. Very, very much so. There's a lot of stuff like, I mean, we like to focus on ITC, but
Hmm.
there's a lot more out there, you know? And I've lately been watching this dude, his name is Jeremiah Cohen. And
Hmm.
I'm watching this guy's schizophrenic videos. I'm not saying he's schizophrenic at all, nothing like that. I'm just
Hmm.
saying that like it looks like when you watch one of his videos, it looks like you're watching schizophrenia go. Like that's and so I've been watching like and what he does is he puts up all those things with the Hollywood celebrities doing their little 666s and covering their eyes and the this and everything like that. And then this is how it's coming to you in the mainstream media. This is going on. This is and I've been watching these like 15-minute videos of his lately, and it's just crazy how far down this guy's rabbit hole that I'm going. And I finally realized, he gets interesting anyway when it comes to some of the darker stuff. And I'm not gonna go into it now, but it's basically he gets into guys that are all about Crowley and talking about like guys like that. I've apparently Hunter S. Thompson was directing snuff films at Bohemian Grove and crazy stuff like that. And there was one guy that caught my eye, and he is this guy named Peter Anger, I do believe his name is. I'll have to look it up again, but he's just like an obscure film director, and he started to make a movie called Lucifer Rising, and it was about a child that became the devil or something like that. And what happened though was so weird. What happened to the baby that was cast, or the toddler that was cast to play the little child, fell out or jumped out of a high rise window in the apartment that his parents lived in to his death, like kind of like how Eric
Damn.
Clapton's kid died. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
One
Shit.
one of the guys that was another one of the kids, it was like he was cast to play a teenager. He joined the Manson family and ended up being one of the ones that murdered the LaBiancas or whatever, and wrote the Helter Skelter and that. He was part of that. And so
Wow.
there's this weird, stuff. And so he contracted Jimmy Page to do the soundtrack for that movie. And then he had to fire Page because of Page's heroin problem. And but then I don't know if the film ever got made. He ended up getting fired. And he says this very interesting thing. He walks around now as an older guy with a Rangers jacket on, but he has the
Hmm.
R taken off, so it's like anger, So that's what it
Oh,
sort of
really?
And on his chest, him and I can't remember who it was back in the 60s got matching tattoos, and it says Lucifer, like right across, and then there's something that goes down here. And he made a joke. He goes, when he goes, he shows this Cohen brings in a part of this guy's talk somewhere, right? Because this guy follows Crowley's type of Satanism and, raping young boys and stuff like that. It's terrible. But so he goes, anybody else that doesn't like that, go join Wicca. And he's very got a very effeminate voice in a way. And he goes to the audience, he goes, a lot of people when they get Alzheimer's, they're afraid they're going to forget their name, but I'm never going to forget mine because my name is tattooed on my chest. So
Mm,
he believes that he is Lucifer, right? So
damn.
it's very, I found some very synchronicities, that I see happening here with this guy. And another thing that I see going on, I don't know if you're familiar, if anybody watching is familiar with this guy named Corey Good. And he's a guy that claimed he was part of the secret space program, and he would go and get sent into Space Force and go on missions to Mars, and then
Huh.
he would serve for 20 years, and then they would regress him and take him back, time travel him, and then put him back in his yard the same day that his backyard, and he would wake up in the backyard. And he claimed this happened 3 times. That so
Uh-huh.
he served like 60 fucking years, pardon my French. He served like 60 effing years, and he was part of the whole Gaia thing with Will
And
Talk
he didn't age at
resigning.
all?
And no, nothing with Jimmy Page. But this guy though, I mean, this is just and so this guy named C.W. Chanter, who's been a very very vocal critic of Mr. Corey Good, and has done many videos regarding Corey Good's what he talks about and everything else. And so, and he goes, he goes, there's just something about this 20-year theory though.
Mm,
And so he goes, think of everything back to 1998.
mm-hmm.
And he goes, look at the whistleblowers that came out around that time,
Mm-hmm.
and he goes, now look at the people that are, so he's like, there is a theory where things sort of repeat themselves after 20 years. And it's you and here's the thing, like, so um for instance, you're seeing a lot of the stuff that you saw 20 years ago with the music, with the art, with a lot of all that stuff. Now the reason why you're seeing it is because 20 years is enough time to create another generation.
Mm-hmm.
So as we grow up,
Okay, okay.
you know what I mean? We
Mm-hmm.
now we when we were in 1998, right? Say, that was part of our formative years. Now, when we get older, 20 years later, and we're producing content, right? Well, we're gonna link back things back to that naturally. And so now you had Kay Griggs doing an interview in 1998, right? Talking about the whole she did four, so it's like a 10-hour thing. There's like 4 videos, right? Or 8 hours of her talking about the old military stuff. And she was just a Marine Corps guy's wife. And she found out a lot of stuff because the guy was apparently some kind of killer and stuff for the Marine Corps. And when he drank, he would say everything. And so now you've got people like Honeybee coming out and talking about child molestation and the Pizzagate and all that kind of stuff. And then you've got other people coming out and talking about things that were talked about 20 years ago. Okay. And you're seeing this now, and as I've been watching his series about this, it's really interesting. But it's basically the generational aspect of it. Is it takes about 20 years to create another generation, and now our generation is influenced by what we saw
Mm,
20 years ago. So we're
mm-hmm.
naturally going to retain things that we, in the formative years, and now we're gonna, and that's where this is all coming from. And
Yeah.
so, like, looking at that, the conspiracy world, the paranormal, using logic, reason, common sense, okay, the three things when you're looking at conspiracy theory, it's that's what it is it's simply the generational aspect of things.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's that. I'm going to end with that one right there, anyways, and I'm going to segue into something better. But
Sure.
yeah, that's the way I look at that 20 and back theory. You see a lot of those hashtags up in SSP and stuff like that. So I don't really pay attention to a lot of that stuff anymore.
Yeah.
Only when it actually makes absolute sense to me will I give something any credence.
Hello,
So
Stephen Dennis. Thanks for joining.
thanks, Steve.
Um,
So anyway, to
and
segue into something better.
Yeah, Dave
I,
says it's a trending conspiracy, which it is. Rampant.
yeah,
So
but let's
guys,
talk about you giving back to the community.
okay, I'm a little nervous about this, guys. I created a simple app that you can use as a ghost box. That's what it's meant to be. Made this a couple weeks ago, and I want to wait until Beyond the Beyond to unveil it. Do kind of a live unveiling. This is called Spiritarium, and I'm gonna actually turn my computer around here so you guys can have a look at it. Then I'm gonna unmute the tab and turn it on for you guys, just so you guys can have a look here. And so there we go. Spiritarium. It's you can actually download it from my website at marleyparanormal.com. It's just something that you open up in your web browser, and I'll actually pull up my voice. I've used two voices here. One is actually John's voice. One is my own. And I just actually took them from videos. I chopped up the videos or chopped up the audio from the videos, and then I played them in reverse, or actually first I changed them to reverse, then I chopped up the videos into just small little segments. So tiny, you can actually see examples of that on the website. But I'll just stop talking and mute the tab so you guys can have a listen to that. So I think I've actually muted my computer. So. So what this does is it goes through various clips randomly and just pulls them out. Can you guys hear that? Can you hear that, John?
Absolutely. Everything's good to go on my end. I absolutely hear it.
You guys hear me still?
I can hear it. It's awesome, yeah.
I think I heard you. Yep. That hurts. Heard that hurts. Can you hear me, John?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, Dave, I made an app.
It's an amazing app. It's bloody amazing. And I'll tell you guys why.
Hey, John, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
I can't hear a damn thing. Yeah, so I'm not hearing anything right now. I can hear this, but I can't hear the audio from the computer.
No, I can hear this just fine. I'm just trying to pick it out, but
Okay, so that's the first male voice there. Unmute that. Can you hear me?
yes, sir.
I can't hear a damn thing.
You can't hear me?
Give me a second here. I'm having some technical difficulty. You guys can hear, okay.
I can hear you.
Okay, John, I can't hear you at all.
You can't hear me?
No, I can't hear you.
No? I'm not on mute or nothing.
Okay, I'm not sure what happened there, but lost John's audio. I cannot read that. Are you on mute? You're on mute? Can you give me a thumbs up if you're on mute?
No.
No. You want to try popping out and then popping back in? No mute. Yeah, I got that. Okay. So,
All right, I'll go
hey
out
there,
and I'll
Katie.
come back in.
So, just having some technical difficulty here with John's audio. And I don't know, John, maybe you pop out and I'll send you the link again and then bring you back in.
You got it, brother. I'll
Do
be
you
right
guys hear
back.
John at all? Actually, maybe I should do that because it could very easily just be me.
You guys
Can you
hear
guys
me
hear
all
John?
right? Can the chatters hear me?
Maybe I. Oh,
Hey,
you guys hear all of us. Okay, so it's not John, it's me. I don't know what's going on there. Yeah, for some reason I lost my audio for you,
hmm.
and which is weird because I'm like playing. I was playing the app on a completely different browser. So,
Hmm.
hmm,
Well, I don't know what to do on my end.
don't know what's going on there.
You're the technical genius out of the
Okay, John,
both.
you take over here, and I'm gonna actually try and fix the audio. Okay,
All right, I'm going to tell
if
them
you don't
why
mind.
I love the Spiritarium. You got it.
Cool.
All right. This is why I love the Spiritarium. All right. It doesn't cost anything. All right. Like Wes is not blocking anything behind a paywall. It's not like you can use this for whatever, then you have to pay $4.95 a month. I mean, all you got to do is download it, and you've got essentially a walking spirit box wherever you are. You know what I mean? So there are people that when they're first coming into the community and they're first hearing into the ITC community, such as True Seekers Exceed, where I'm a member of and I'm a proud member of True Seekers Exceed, and Wes is as well. And one of the reasons why I think Wes did this is because this is one thing that happens when new people come on in. And whoa, I just saw a crazy shadow behind you. Whoa,
Oh, really? I saw
that
that
was
earlier when I
weird.
was sitting.
I saw a shadow just go like a
Oh, right,
black
I got the audio
shadow.
back.
I saw a black shadow go across. Can
I
you hear
saw that
me?
earlier, dude. I saw
It
that
went.
earlier. I thought my.
It
Yeah, I can
went
hear
to
you
the
now.
left of you. I seen it run that way. That's why I
I
stopped talking. Whoa! Like a
Okay, I
black
didn't mention this
shadow just
earlier.
ran right past you. I seen it block out Elvis
Okay,
and everything.
okay. Here's the thing,
Timestamp
guys.
this.
Okay, that's kind of hard to do, but I will. I guess we're about halfway in. So, I'm gonna tell you guys something here. When I was setting up, I was setting up the spirit box and everything, and I told the spirits, "Okay, guys, I'll be back to test this app out later." As soon as I saw that, or as soon as I said that, I thought that I saw something in the background go behind me. I'm like, "Oh
Yeah,
fuck, that's got to be my eyes playing tricks on me," because you see things out of the corner of your eyes, and stuff like
yeah,
that sometimes. And I also had this angel going, and I'm like, well, maybe you know that's what that was. Maybe it was just a reflection of the light, but it didn't look like that. It just looked like a shadow going behind me.
that,
And it's
that's what I
weird.
saw.
Yeah, and it's weird because I was watching a video earlier about this woman who was on an instant messenger chat or some kind of chat and was talking about to a friend because she just moved into a new place, and her friend says, "Who's that behind you?" Because there's something that had run, it looked like someone had run in behind her, and um, just like an hour later, I see the same thing happen to me, and now you've seen it. So that kind of,
Yeah.
yeah, I definitely got to go back and look at that. Did you guys see that at all?
Yeah, did the chatters see that? Because it'd be really awesome if, like, because you could put this on YouTube. Like, this is on YouTube. This is gonna be on
Yeah, we got to
YouTube.
put this on
So,
YouTube. It is on
I
YouTube,
mean,
dude.
this happening live. I mean, you might be on one of
Yeah.
those top five ones now. A list of paranormal stuff happening during a live stream. Because that made me stop talking. It just knocked aside. Whoa, just like whoa,
Yeah.
like because I was
Wow.
like, why? It ran right past Elvis, right, just right across that room. So that was
And,
really
and what
trippy.
a good time to bring that spirit box thing back on too. Like maybe we
Yeah.
can get some
Maybe he'll talk.
answers or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I'm gonna mute this now. The tab is muted, so let's actually use the other one. This is the other voice here. And you hear me, John?
Yes, sir.
All right, I can hear you
Clear.
too now. And can you hear this?
Yep. Yes, I can.
All right. I want to ask, was there somebody behind me just now? If there's somebody behind me, can you please tell me what your name was? What your name is?
I heard something that sounded like I came from behind the curtain.
Okay. You came from behind the curtain.
Yeah. Like, I don't know if that's like has an actual meaning, or like if that meant that he like ran past the wall, like coming out of the doorway. You know what I mean?
Did somebody say that they came from behind the curtain?
They heard I came from the curtains behind me. Yeah. And then after that, I heard curtains.
All right, so you came from behind the curtains, but what is your name?
I heard something like "you do not," and then I couldn't get the end of it.
Spirit. I heard spirit there.
Yeah, I heard that as well. Something about a message.
Do you like this app? Can you use this app to communicate?
Yes. Right after you said that, it's a yes. You can hear it pronounced S.
All right. Thank you, spirits. Thank you.
Thank
I really
you
want to
so
know.
much, spirits.
I want to know why was somebody running behind me earlier and just now when John saw it?
Yeah, I could be totally mistaken, but I think I heard so that they'll like the video.
Dave said that he heard. All right, Katie heard 2 worlds. Dave said heard app, and he also heard yes.
Yeah.
Lone Star Explorer TV heard hello earlier. What do you think this, John? Do you like this?
I think it's amazing. I mean, I'm putting my ear to it, and I'm catching things. And so, as I was saying before, if you got a laptop and there's people that are coming into the ITC, a lot of people, when they hear videos of people doing sessions with their boxes, right away they go, "Oh, I wish I could do that. I was one of those people. I wish I know how to do that. I'm an investigator. I lost my stuff in a flood. Oh, whatever." It's like, I want to get back into this. And then you have other people that are like, well, I can't afford a radio. I can't even, I can't afford $50. Like times are tight. and times are tight for a lot of people. And so the thing is that if they got internet access and a laptop or even just their desktop, right? A laptop you could take with you with a battery. So as long as you've got Wi-Fi access or whatever, you can set this up and just use it, and it's
Yeah,
free.
and again, guys, you can download this at marleyparanormal.com
Yeah, you
if you want
download
to. Hello, Ganja growing girl. How are you doing today? Thanks so much for joining.
Thanks so much for joining us. But as I was saying, a lot of people, when they're new, they want a box right away. And this is something that's not behind a paywall. It's not an app at Google Hangouts where, it says, well, this thing isn't really meant for ghosts. It's for entertainment use only. Those kinds of things. This bypasses all that,
Oh yeah, it was built for a specific purpose.
Exactly. Obviously, there are apps that are good out there, like such as Steve Holte's app, right?
Yeah.
But
Oh,
there are
absolutely.
apps that are out there that are good, right? But this is something where nobody else. You don't have to pay nothing. You don't have to register anything. You can just use it, listen, and go. And
Exactly.
this is why I think it's a service that you've done for everybody in the community, because now here's a place now where you can go to marleyparanormal.com, download this for absolutely nothing, just free, and just start up and go and start asking questions. That's
Exactly.
it. And so I really think you're doing like a Nikola Tesla, for the community by doing something like this. You know what I mean? It's free. There's no paywall. There's no, well, it's $4.95 a month. Nothing like that. Just come onto the
No, it's
website,
completely
download
free.
it. That's it. And look, I mean, it's people are hearing it in the chat. I heard it myself. I mean, you couldn't have asked for a better demo of this, in my opinion. You really couldn't.
Thank you, Katie. Thank you. This is called Spiritarium.
The Spiritarium. Yes, sir. I
That's
love
great.
that thing. I love it.
It's. I had someone tell me that it sounded like sanitarium, but I was actually going for the terrarium, kind of like an aquarium where you have like lizards and stuff like that. But a kind of terrarium for spirits, so Spiritarium. I had Rich Spirit tell me that he got stuff out of it right away. Kevin Himes did an awesome demo on it for me. So I shot a video of it, and the stuff he was getting out of it was absolutely incredible. But yeah, it seems to work. Darlene, when I first made this, she had said she was going upstairs and it said Netflix, and she was going upstairs to watch Netflix. It was like crazy.
That's cool. That's cool. I mean, it's that just gives you, your hard work paid off, man. You know what I mean? I mean, this had to be a lot of work coding all this and doing all that kind of stuff. It's way beyond my pay grade, bro. I have no idea how to do that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I know how to use the boxes and that, but they're already used and made for me to use, So, in my opinion, you went above and beyond the Call of Duty as you always do, because you just have so much passion for our world, and that's something that it can't be rivaled.
Thanks, man. Thanks.
You
Thank
just
you.
yeah, no worries. You're my
And
brother.
really, this is just a demo of this. I'm actually going to be building this out more into a full-on app. I'll actually do a Windows app, and then I'll do an Android app with this. I'm just learning the programming behind all that to do this or to do that. And yeah, so this is just really kind of a first look at what this thing is going to be. It's going to have a few more features to it in the end, and yeah, just keep building it up and building it up. And yeah.
Somebody tried calling me. Let's screen up my audio.
Yeah. So getting back to this though, who was walking behind? I need a name, please. Can I get a name, please? And if anybody in the chat hears anything, hears any replies, or hear a reply, John, let me know. Yeah, and if you guys, if you want to download this and do your own videos with it, I would love to see what you guys come up with using this app. It would make me feel pretty damn good about to see something like that. Would be a real good feeling for me to just see other people using this and see what you guys come up with when using it. So definitely give it a shot, please, and let me know what you find. Still waiting on a name. Who is behind me? Oh, Katie heard. Hey, everybody. Hello, spirits. Bear with me a second. Just getting my glasses. Scratches. Yeah, scratches on my arm a couple weeks ago. Did somebody scratch me? Me? Who's me? The app is called Spiritarium. Katie, you heard Stan? If there's a Stan, can you say your name again, please? Stan. Anybody else here, Stan?
I heard Stan.
All right, Stan, were you the one who was running behind me earlier? Yes, my fault.
Yeah, I got yes as well.
Stan, why were you here? Want to something?
Yeah, I couldn't catch the end of it.
Hi, Jackie.
Something about there's
Thanks
people.
for coming. There's people. There are people in the chat. Is that what you're referring to? Yeah, we have some people watching here.
Hey, everybody in chat, what's up?
We've got Jackie, we've got Katie.
Hey, Jax, what's up?
Dante Growing World. Thanks so much, guys, for joining us today.
Thank you for joining us on this lovely Sunday evening.
Stan, do you mean me any harm? No.
I heard no.
No. Thank you, Stan. I appreciate that.
Thank you, Stan. I very much appreciate that as well.
Can you hear John?
Yup. I heard yup.
Awesome. Awesome. Thanks so much, Spirits. All right, I don't want to drag this on too long, John, so I'm going to thank you, Spirits, for joining us. Thank you, Stan,
Thank
for
you,
that
Stan.
amazing freaking apparition behind me. I'm going to go back and look at that.
Oh, I know.
And I'm going to actually mute this now. And yeah, you guys can definitely download this at marleyparanormal.com and to give you some info on the spirit box as well. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy it too.
I did.
All right,
that was
on.
Amazing. Just because we're just pulling that up, and then a shadow runs across behind you.
Yeah, I know.
It's like and then we get these good responses in that demo. I mean, I don't think we could ask for a better one,
Mm-hmm. Well, I got to say that worked out a lot better than I thought it would. This is the first time I vaped in about a month. Cough, cough, cough.
I just got this thing now. My mod broke down, and so I'm gonna just. I said I'm not spending any more money on big mods or nothing. I'm tired of it. I'll get another $35 set of pens at the end of the month. When
Yeah,
I get my disability, that's good enough for now.
yeah. So, what do
I'm
you
gonna
guys
try
think
and
of?
quit.
What do you guys think of Spiritarium?
Yeah, what are the chatters saying? What do you guys think of Spiritarium? Is it awesome? Come on, it's awesome.
Nice, John.
No, man, it's thank you because you're the one that made this. You're the one that went to all the trouble to make this so that everybody else can, use it. And what better of a way to demo it than on the a flagship
Mm,
demo on our return back to action podcast here. So I'm
yeah,
really excited,
exciting
man.
for
I'm
me for
excited.
sure.
I
Yeah.
wish I had a separate phone I could record and then upload it so I could, because I only have my
Mm-hmm.
phone. I have a
Mm,
desktop that I could plug in eventually, but I don't have the internet
mm-hmm.
here. So, I'm
Oh,
just
okay.
always on data.
Yeah, you like have to hotwire to your phone, which would be kind of pricey for you.
Yeah, actually, they looked at the program and the tethering was like an extra $50 a month already. So I was just like,
Ouch.
can't afford tethering. That would put my bill
Mm,
over in like over 100 some a month. That's like a lot of cash. So,
mm-hmm. All right. So I'm pulling up Netflix here by accident.
yeah,
Okay. So just trying to pull up the chat again.
I'm watching a show on Netflix right now called The Blacklist.
Thanks, Jackie. Thanks, Jackie. You're watching The Blacklist?
Yeah, it's called The Blacklist. It's got the
Oh yeah,
guy
I've seen that.
from The Office that played Robert California.
Yeah, I've seen that.
That's a good show. We like it. Yeah, Hope and I have been watching it.
Yeah.
She's downstairs getting her hair dyed. Her mom's here, sister's here. So
Oh yeah, that's cool.
yeah,
That's cool. So,
gonna have dinner
um,
soon. She just came up and gave me the cue. So
okay. Well, I was about to just do the announcements of what's going to be coming up on Beyond the
absolutely,
Beyond
let's
the next
go.
couple of weeks here. Next
Amen.
Saturday, we have got Glenn from NNPI, North Nottingham Paranormal Investigators. And
That's
then
sorry. Go ahead.
to bring in the new year on, I believe it's January 5th, we have got Crimson Angel Paranormal. Dave Wood is going to join us, and that should be really interesting. Dave said there's nothing off the table, so who knows what's going to happen there. Really looking forward to having those guys with us,
Me
and
too.
we're also going to be doing an actual podcast. It's going to be on iTunes. It's going to be on all the other platforms, and we'll also upload those to YouTube afterwards. It'll just be audio podcasts, and we'll be uploading all those. And so yeah, lots of great stuff happening here on Beyond the Beyond. We're back. We're back full force, and we are going to stick to a commitment of doing a show. Every 2 weeks we're gonna be moving after the one on January 5th with Crimson Angel. We're going to be moving to a bi-weekly format just so that we can be more consistent with our shows and to just keep getting them out.
That's right. Makes it easier, a little bit easier too, to be able to research subjects and stuff like that. So and not have to kind of do everything per week. So
Yeah,
and
yeah, we're not.
it'll really make the experience better for you guys, the listeners. You know,
Mhm.
and just because we're going to audio, and that doesn't mean we're hiding behind paywalls or anything. Everything's still going to be free the way that it is. It's just that we feel that doing the audio is just better. A lot of people just listen. They even leave the video format on. They just listen. I mean, I listen to podcasts all the time when I in my free time when I'm not doing anything else. A lot of times it's podcasts. So,
Yeah.
audio is good. And then how we're gonna do the video format when we have guests.
Hmm.
And so I
Yeah,
think that'd be
exactly.
something for the viewers to kind of, we're gonna go a little old school with the without the video, but we're gonna do video ones too. So it just
Yeah.
makes it easier on us, makes it easier on you guys, so you guys could just listen and stuff like that. And who knows, we can always do a video one, even if it's supposed to be an audio one, how depending on how we feel and all that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. So you guys aren't
Well, I'm
losing
sure there are
anything.
things where we want visuals and stuff, but alluding to what you were saying there about the video ones, we're, all the ones with guests are all going to be video.
Yep,
So just so we aware of that. So
yep.
that just removes any hangouts with trying to get everything going properly and everything. And also, I think that it's nice to have that video element when you've got a guest on as well.
Absolutely. I like it too. So
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for joining us. I thought that was I had a lot of fun today,
me
and
too.
just amazing the replies we're getting, and that freaking
The shadow.
apparition. Wow.
Yep.
Yeah, the shadow. Just Stan.
Yeah.
That's blowing my mind right now. But thanks so much, guys, for joining us, and stay true, keep believing. We'll see you on the next one.
See you guys on the next one, guys. Much love to all of you. Just stay in peace, love, and harmony, man. You know, some people want to make it happen. Some people just want it to happen. But heavy hitters, we make it happen. Shout out to a
Right
guy
on.
named OG Badger. You know what I mean? But yeah, so I'm loving this, man. You and I were excited for
Yep.
how many days, just to get this one, just this morning I got up and I'm like, yeah, sitting here just waiting, 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 and then okay, I'm coming upstairs and we're back.
Mm-hmm.
And so I can't wait to be back again with the guests. And then we're going to go to the 2 week format. And I think that's a great thing because that way we're not going to be straining to, look for topics to come up with every week. We'll be able to put more research and that into our topics when we do our audio broadcast and with the guests as well. So we'll be doing more of a service to our listeners as well. I mean, you saw when I did the circle thing, I had like 7 or 8 pages of crazy notes all over the place. Like, so, you know, I'm a note taker, and yeah, it just makes it easier on us, and I love it. And you know what, man, I love all you guys, so I'm not gonna talk no more.
Yeah.
I'm just
Much
gonna be
love, you guys.
quiet and just share my love with everybody, and just let you guys all know I love you, and I love you too, my brother.
Much love, John, and much love to everybody in the chat there. Thanks so much for joining us, and again, we'll see you on the next one.
See you on